everybody, so we're back talking some more Secret Invasion on the channel with episode 3. Things are continuing to heat up as we reach the midway point of the series. These Marvel shows, they pretty much fly by when they're mostly 6 episodes. Still, so far, it has been very intriguing to see everything unravel in this battle between Nick Fury and Gravik. We are hinting at a lot of things, like their past, and also other wild details with setup here, like the possibility of Super Skrulls on the horizon. But the biggest revelation, I think, for everyone, at least big Marvel fans, is the fact that Nick Fury this entire time has been married to a Skrull. So good for him. As we speculated pretty much all week about the possibility of Super Skrulls, I'm glad we basically got that confirmation in the very opening of episode 3, showcasing to the Council the machine they've been building this whole time and how he's going to use it to basically create an entire army of Super Skrulls to wipe out the human race. Very interesting that they're going down this route with the Super Skrulls because most of their origin in the comic books are very much tied to the Fantastic Four, and we don't have the Fantastic Four in the MCU, so we're kind of circumventing that in a way, and I do think it is kind of weird. For now, at least, I'm going to reserve judgment on the Super Skrulls because we haven't seen them in action in the show so far, but we do know later on that Gravik already has all the Super Skrull powers. Going into this week, I wasn't entirely sure if we were going to consistently see the utilization of the flashbacks, but so far, I have been loving seeing this backstory fleshed out for Nick Fury. Now that we know he has a wife, we're getting to see their relationship dynamic in play, even when they were working on missions back in the 90s, even getting a Dreykov mention, which was actually kind of cool as a Marvel fan. Of course, he was the villain in Black Widow. Regardless of the fact that we didn't even know Nick Fury had a wife until last week, I think her character work so far is pretty entertaining. I think she bounces off of Nick Fury perfectly, and the relationship, we get to see in such little time the difficulties of being married to someone like Nick Fury, and the fact that he was blipped for a period of time. It did make me kind of wonder, though, exactly what was her reaction to the fake death Nick Fury had back in the Winter Soldier. We don't really touch upon that, of course, but it's just something that had me thinking when we realized that he had a wife, and, you know, he's been off-world, he's been blipped, he's going through a lot of stuff. While the show isn't extremely action-packed or anything, we are going for a much more dramatic spy thriller tone. I think the usage of those elements work perfectly in this episode, and the way that we craft tension around certain sequences. One of those big standout sequences in episode 3 is the meeting between Gravik and Talos when they discuss the possibilities of stopping this war before it gets worse, and you drag the humans into this. And while it was spoiled long ago in the trailer, I did think it was pretty cool that basically everybody inside of this meeting place is a Skrull. The big kicker of the sequence, however, is the conclusion and the way Talos stabs Gravik in the hand before leaving, and turns out Gravik already is a Super Skrull. We see the extremists at work before the scene ends. It's truly hard to tell every episode what side exactly Gaia is on in this battle, whether it's Gravik's or her father's, but at least regardless, she is still helping her father with gaining intel. One of my favorite elements about Secret Invasion so far is that dynamic between Talos and Nick Fury. They're the one thing that's really driving this home for me and why I continue to watch, because they have such a great friendship, and it does mix between serious topics and funny banter. Continuing to discuss how Skrulls have always been here helping Fury throughout the decades to do all of these missions, but there's also fun stuff in here, like the fact that Talos still does not understand why humans keep dogs as pets. The last third of episode 3 leans very heavily into the spy thriller vibes, pretty much the cliches of the genre we all know. They're going to try and stop this guy from causing this catastrophic event. They have a very limited time to do so. It wasn't all that tense, to be honest. It was resolved very quickly because you kind of have a cheat code when Gaia can just be called up, go over to the human, the real Bob, and get the codes from his memories. I don't know, at least to me that kind of seems like cheating that you can just go and do something like that. But the other thing about this, it seems like Talos finally has moved on from his stance on not killing Skrulls, because he has no problem shooting Bob and just killing him in this instance. We do conclude things on some interesting details. The first one being that Gaia tries to escape and Gravik shoots her. I don't think she's dead personally. I think that would be a horrible miscalculation to bring Emilia Clarke into the show, kill her halfway through, and there are sequences in the trailer where her character pops up, so I'm just going on a whim here and predicting that she does not die from this gunshot wound, but I will be pissed off if she does. But the other thing here is Nick Fury's wife Scylla Ayla, she is going to gather supplies and gathering a gun, and it seems like she's going to try and talk to Gravik. So I'm wondering exactly what that's going to be like, what we're going to see from that in the next episode. But overall, pretty solid episode. Not my favorite of the 3 so far. We're halfway through, and it seems like things are continuing to heat up for a pretty spicy last half of the season. But now you've heard my thoughts on episode 3 of Secret Invasion. Make sure you share your thoughts down below. What'd you think of the episode? Did you like the episode? Did you not like the episode? Do you have any predictions on where you think we're going to go in episode 4? All of those things, share them in the comment section down below. It's part of the fun is having that conversation with you guys. But thank you guys also for always checking out the videos. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you leave a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel. Check the reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. Next time, I'll see you guys later.